Seneca once said, "A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer." But what happens when the intentions behind someone's actions are not as pure as we might hope? Have you ever felt like you're nothing more than a rung on someone's ladder to success or a mere pawn in their game? It's a harsh reality, but not everyone who enters our lives has our best interests at heart. In today's video, we're diving deep into the murky waters of deceitful relationships. We'll unveil 10 unmistakable attitudes that reveal a startling truth. Someone in your life is using you without a care for your well-being. It's time to shed light on these manipulative behaviors and learn how to shield ourselves from such toxic individuals. Stick around to uncover these critical insights. And remember, for more empowering content on maintaining a positive and healthy circle around you, hit that subscribe button. Let's embark on this journey of self-awareness and emotional protection together. The first signal: identifying those who merely use you. Navigating the often turbulent waters of human nature is akin to a seasoned sailor charting through the unpredictable sea. This journey demands not only intuition, but also a wealth of experience. As we sail through life, we encounter a myriad of personalities. Some of these individuals are like guiding stars, enriching our lives with their presence, while others, unfortunately, resemble treacherous undercurrents, causing harm and distress. In this voyage, one of the most challenging tasks we face is identifying those who merely use us, a realization that is as painful as it is necessary. The signs of such exploitation are not always glaringly obvious, often shrouded in subtleties and nuances. However, the act of recognizing these attitudes is a vital step in reclaiming our self-worth and establishing boundaries that protect our well-being. As we delve deeper into the art of discerning true intentions and fostering genuine relationships, a fundamental truth emerges. You are inherently deserving of relationships that are not only reciprocal, but also steeped in respect. This principle echoes the Stoic philosophy, where Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of relationships, this encourages us to be observant and discerning, listening to actions as much as words. If you find resonance and value in this exploration of human connections, I warmly invite you to join our community by subscribing. Your engagement is not just appreciated, it is the cornerstone of our collective journey in unraveling the complex tapestry of human interactions. Together, we will continue to dissect and understand the intricate patterns of behavior and emotions that define our relationships. Your support is pivotal in this ongoing quest for knowledge and personal growth. Remember, the key to fostering healthier and more fulfilling relationships lies in the ability to recognize and act upon these insights, always grounded in self-respect and mutual regard. In the modern world, where interactions are often fleeting and superficial, these lessons become even more crucial, guiding us towards more meaningful and authentic connections. The second signal: guilt and manipulation dissected, reimagined. In the intricate dance of human relationships, a second signal stands out, casting a shadow of concern: the wielding of guilt as a manipulative tool. This tactic, though varied in its execution, consistently aims to bend someone's will to the desires of the manipulator. Picture yourself repeatedly cornered into agreeing to requests, feeling an unspoken yet overwhelming pressure to comply. Alternatively, envision a scenario where your emotions are deftly manipulated, puppeteered to serve another's objectives. Statements like, "If you truly valued our friendship, you would do this," or "I would have done the same for you," are strategically deployed, cutting through your emotional defenses to exploit your compassion and empathy. These methods of manipulation are subtle, often cloaked in normalcy or perceived obligation, leading you to question your own feelings and judgment. This is a perilous path, one that can slowly chip away at your emotional integrity and self-worth. In contrast, it's crucial to recognize that the bedrock of healthy relationships is trust, mutual respect, and the liberty to express and address personal needs without coercion or fear. If you find yourself repeatedly ensnared in these manipulative webs, it's time for a critical evaluation. This is a juncture to reflect on the viability of the relationship and the potential to establish more robust boundaries. Confronting and acknowledging manipulation is a courageous act, pivotal in safeguarding your emotional health and autonomy. It's a declaration of self-respect, affirming your right to resist manipulation and guilt, and to choose what's genuinely best for you. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This wisdom resonates deeply here, reminding us to listen to our inner voice and the unspoken truths of our interactions. In our modern lives, where relationships can be complex and challenging, this insight guides us to discern and protect our emotional well-being. It's a call to action, urging us to be vigilant and proactive in nurturing relationships that are respectful, reciprocal, and genuinely caring. The third signal, the lack of detailed personal interest. In the intricate tapestry of human connections, there's a third signal that stands out sharply: the absence of genuine personal interest. Picture this. True friends and heartfelt companions, they dive deep into the essence of who we are. They celebrate our stories, empathize with our joys, and stand by us in our struggles. But then, there's a stark contrast with someone whose interest seems purely functional, almost opportunistic. This person hardly ever inquires about your day, your feelings, or your dreams. Their role in conversations is self-centered, focusing only on their experiences and needs, or sticking to shallow topics that lack emotional depth. This situation paints a clear picture of disconnection. You start to feel like your voice and your story matter only when they align with their interests. In this dynamic, you're reduced to an audience for their tales, or a tool for their convenience. The absence of curiosity and empathy from their side is a glaring sign. You're valued for what you can provide, not for who you are. It's a painful realization, but vital for self-reflection and maintaining your dignity. Ask yourself, is this a balanced and sincere relationship, or are you just a side character in their personal drama? A lack of personal interest in a relationship is a major warning sign, urging you to reassess your connections and seek environments where you're appreciated for your whole self. If you're still listening, you're among the few truly committed to growth. Comment Stoicism wisdom with today's date as a pledge to yourself. Let's forge ahead. The fourth signal, selective availability. This pattern emerges when someone is always there for you when they need something, but becomes a ghost when you're the one in need. Imagine you're always the go-to person, the one who lends an ear, helps out, or gives your time and energy. But when the tables turn and you're the one reaching out for support, all you're met with is silence. Your messages go unanswered, your calls are ignored, or the conversation is swiftly shifted away from your needs. It's like you're pouring into a relationship where the scales are tipped against you, where your efforts vanish into a void. This isn't just inconsideration, it's a blatant neglect of your feelings and needs. It's like looking into a mirror that shows a harsh truth. They're only around when it benefits them. This lopsided dynamic can sow seeds of disappointment and resentment. You're left in a relationship that's as unbalanced as a scale with weights on only one side. It's crucial to face this truth head-on. Ask yourself, is this a truly reciprocal relationship, or am I just a convenience? This is where your self-respect and self-esteem come into play, urging you to reevaluate your boundaries and question whether mutual respect and reciprocity are really at the heart of this relationship. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In relationships, this balance is essential. If you find yourself always listening, always giving, but rarely being heard or receiving, it's a sign to reassess the dynamics of your interactions. Remember, a relationship should be a two-way street, a harmonious exchange where both parties feel valued and heard. The fifth signal, the persistent lack of respect in detail. In our exploration of the intricate tapestry of human relationships, we encounter a critical signal of dysfunction: the persistent lack of respect. Respect is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection, a mutual exchange that should be unwavering. A genuine friend or partner embodies this through actions that demonstrate mutual regard and appreciation. Yet, there are those who consistently overstep these boundaries, treating you as an afterthought rather than a priority. Picture yourself repeatedly facing scenarios where your plans are abruptly discarded, or the other person habitually arrives late, or in extreme cases, fails to appear altogether. This pattern suggests an expectation for you to constantly adapt to their needs and fancies. This continuous disregard for your time and needs starkly highlights how little they value the relationship. Such attitudes, when pieced together, form a tapestry of selfishness and inconsideration. It's important to acknowledge that we all can act selfishly at times, as imperfection is part of the human condition. However, the defining trait of someone who uses you is the relentless nature of these actions, coupled with an absence of recognition or intent to change. As we delve deeper into the nuances of human interactions, we must remember the power of self-awareness and assertiveness. These qualities shield us from exploitation, enabling us to recognize and appropriately respond to these red flags. Identifying a detrimental relationship is a pivotal step in reevaluating such connections and protecting your emotional and mental health. As we continue this journey, it's empowering to realize that we have the tools to discern and address exploitative situations. This knowledge and understanding are vital in fostering healthier, more respectful relationships. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This wisdom reminds us that the fear of confronting such painful truths is often more daunting than the act itself. By facing these realities head-on, we can liberate ourselves from the chains of toxic relationships and pave the way for more fulfilling connections. The sixth signal: superficial bonding and its implications. In the intricate dance of human connections, we encounter a subtle yet significant signal: the presence of superficial bonding. This sixth sign is especially deceptive, as it cloaks the real essence of the relationship. When someone is merely using you, they often shy away from establishing a deep, meaningful bond. This manifests in interactions that barely scratch the surface. You might notice that conversations with such individuals are often limited to trivial matters, carefully avoiding any deep or personal topics. They guard their vulnerabilities closely and keep their emotions under strict control. This creates an invisible barrier, preventing the relationship from evolving into a deeper, more trusting and supportive bond. It's like being stuck in an endless loop of shallow exchanges, where, despite the passage of time, you realize you don't truly know the person behind the facade. This is a telltale sign that for them, the relationship isn't a priority or a means to genuinely share experiences and emotions. Recognizing this superficiality is crucial for your emotional well-being. It prompts you to ponder the true value and depth of your relationships. Are you nurturing a bond that can grow and flourish, or are you holding on to a mere semblance of connection that fails to evolve into something more meaningful? Understanding the nature of a superficial bond guides you to make choices that safeguard your peace of mind and lead you towards relationships that offer genuine reciprocity and depth. In the spirit of Stoicism, this realization empowers us to focus on what we can control, our investment in relationships that are truly enriching. It's a lesson in discernment and emotional intelligence, guiding us to cultivate connections that resonate with our values and contribute positively to our lives. Remember, in the journey of life, it's not just about who we walk with, but also the depth and authenticity of the steps we take together. The seventh signal: absence in crucial moments. In the intricate tapestry of human relationships, the seventh and perhaps most poignant signal emerges with stark clarity: the absence in crucial moments. This signal, subtle yet profound, is a testament to the true nature of a relationship, often unveiled not under the comforting glow of good times but in the shadow of life's tempests. It is in the throes of adversity, be it illness, personal loss, or the crushing weight of stress, that the fabric of a relationship is truly tested. Picture yourself in the midst of such a storm, your eyes searching for a familiar face of support, a friend or partner you believed would stand as your bulwark. Yet, what greets you is a void, a palpable absence. They may offer words, but these are mere echoes, hollow and devoid of empathy, more a social nicety than a heartfelt gesture. This pattern, where emotional and physical support is a rare commodity in your hour of need, is a glaring red flag. It paints a picture of a lopsided relationship where your emotional investments are met with evasion and indifference when it's their turn to reciprocate. Such absence in pivotal moments is a mirror, unflinchingly reflecting the true essence of your bond. It's not merely the physical absence that stings. It's the emotional desertion, the stark indifference that speaks volumes. This erosion of emotional support not only frays the fabric of the relationship, but also casts a long shadow over its value and the authenticity of the connection. Acknowledging this truth, though painful, is a crucial step in safeguarding your dignity and emotional health. It's a call to reassess the dynamics of your relationships, to seek a balance where support and presence are mutual. Recognizing these signs is the first step, but the true measure of our relationships lies in how we respond to these revelations. In moments that cry out for solidarity and support, the absence of someone who should be your anchor can unveil a harsh truth about the nature of your bond. It is in these testing times that the depth and sincerity of a relationship are truly revealed. The lack of emotional investment and solidarity from someone who merely uses us is a glaring testament to this imbalance. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This wisdom resonates deeply in the context of relationships. The trials we face not only polish our understanding of others, but also refine our perception of who truly values us. In modern life, where connections can be as fleeting as they are deep, this lesson is invaluable. It guides us to foster relationships that are not just present in joy, but more importantly, in times of need. Relationships that are a true reflection of mutual respect, empathy, and genuine care. The eighth signal: constant criticism and undermining. In the realm of relationships, a glaring red flag is the incessant barrage of criticism and undermining. This tactic is especially detrimental, eroding the bedrock of your self-esteem and confidence. Imagine a scenario where someone, under the guise of helping, persistently highlights your flaws, errors, and inadequacies, often with a demeaning or sarcastic twist. Their critiques are devoid of constructive intent or support, aiming instead to belittle and dominate. This behavior might subtly creep in through snide remarks about your looks, intellect, or abilities, or it could take a more blatant form, like public humiliation or trivializing your accomplishments. The root of this conduct is to foster a sense of insecurity and dependency in you, making you an easier target for exploitation. It's essential to discern this pattern, as it transcends the occasional spat or constructive feedback that's commonplace in relationships. It's a consistent, demeaning behavior that leaves you feeling undervalued and disrespected. To echo the words of a Stoic philosopher, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This sentiment resonates deeply here. The criticism you face is not a reflection of your true worth, but a manipulation tactic. In modern life, where relationships can be complex and challenging, it's vital to recognize these signals and respond with wisdom. The Stoic approach would advise us to view these criticisms as opportunities to reflect on our values and strengths, rather than as definitive judgments of our character. By doing so, we can maintain our inner peace and resilience even in the face of adversity. The ninth signal: indifference to your well-being. Picture this. You're navigating the turbulent waters of life, facing challenges that test your physical, emotional, and mental fortitude. In such times, the empathy and concern of those around us become our anchors. However, there are individuals who, instead of offering a helping hand, remain distant, unresponsive, or minimally involved. Their lack of concern for your feelings, health issues, or stress is not just an oversight. It's a glaring sign of their indifference. This behavior stands in stark contrast to the warmth and care of someone who truly values you. A caring individual naturally becomes a part of your support system, showing genuine concern for your struggles. The realization that your pains and challenges are trivial to someone you've invested in emotionally can be a profound source of hurt. It's a painful awakening to the reality that the relationship is lopsided, with your well-being being relegated to the background. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of our relationships, this wisdom reminds us to be attentive to the actions and inactions of those around us. Their silence or indifference, especially in our times of need, speaks volumes about their regard for us. It's a poignant reminder to reevaluate our connections and cherish those who truly care for our well-being. Remember, in the journey of life, surround yourself with those who not only hear but listen, not only look but see, and not only exist in your life, but actively participate in it. The 10th signal. Exploitation of your resources and generosity. There's someone in your life who always seems to be taking more than they give. They might lean on your time, money, skills, or connections, often without a hint of gratitude or the intention to give back. Imagine lending money that never gets returned, or always being the one who foots the bill. Or perhaps they use your professional skills but offer nothing in return. But it's not just about material things. This exploitation can seep into the emotional realm too. Your emotional support, patience, and kindness might be taken for granted. In such relationships, interactions often feel transactional, as if the person only shows up when they need something from you. This is a glaring red flag, signaling a lack of mutual respect and fairness. It's a painful realization that to them you're more of a resource than a valued individual. Let's relate this to a story that resonates with many. Think of the ancient tale of the giving tree, where a tree gives everything to a boy throughout his life, only to be left as a mere stump in the end. This story mirrors the one-sided nature of such relationships, where one gives endlessly while the other takes selfishly. Now, let's speak directly to you. If you find yourself in such a dynamic, it's crucial to recognize this pattern. Understand that a relationship should be a two-way street, filled with mutual respect and appreciation. It's about giving and receiving in equal measures. If you're in a situation where you're constantly giving and never receiving, it's time to reassess and set boundaries. In conclusion, my dear listeners, remember that your worth is not defined by what you can provide to others. True relationships cherish you for who you are, not just for what you can give. So, take a step back, evaluate your relationships, and don't be afraid to make changes for your well-being. Your resources, time, and emotional energy are precious. Share them with those who value and respect you in return. To cultivate healthier and more balanced relationships, particularly for men aged 30 to 65, who are navigating the intricacies of modern life, it's imperative to understand the art of setting clear boundaries. This is akin to the Stoic philosophy, where Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of relationships, this translates to the importance of saying no when necessary. It's a fundamental aspect of any healthy relationship, akin to a captain steering his ship through turbulent waters, firm, yet mindful of the surrounding conditions. When you find yourself feeling uncomfortable or pressured, it's crucial to communicate your boundaries clearly and directly, much like a lighthouse providing guidance to ships in a stormy sea. Defining and firmly maintaining what is acceptable to you is not just about setting limits. It's a practice of self-respect and preserving your emotional health. It's about knowing your worth and standing by it, much like a tree stands firm against the wind. In situations where you feel used, open and honest communication is key. Addressing the matter calmly, clearly, and directly and expressing your feelings without accusations can clarify misunderstandings and even give the other person a chance to review and change their behavior. It's like gently pruning a plant, encouraging it to grow in a healthier direction. Seeking support in dealing with the emotional complexities of being in an unbalanced relationship is another important step. Talking to trusted friends, family members, or a professional can provide a much-needed outside perspective as well as support and guidance, much like a sailor seeking guidance from the stars. Remember, every individual deserves respect and reciprocity in their relationships. Identifying and confronting situations where your interests are not considered is essential for strengthening your emotional well-being. It's about recognizing your value in the tapestry of relationships, ensuring that your thread is woven with respect and dignity. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In your relationships, this means responding to challenges not with bitterness, but with a clear understanding of your worth and the wisdom to maintain balance. This approach not only resonates with the teachings of Stoicism, but also aligns seamlessly with the challenges and complexities of modern life, offering timeless advice for cultivating healthier and more balanced relationships. Remember, your worth isn't determined by how others perceive or treat you. It's an inherent treasure, one that shines brightest when you stand firm in situations where respect and consideration seem to wane. As we delve deeper into the intricacies of human bonds, a profound truth emerges. You are inherently deserving of relationships that offer mutual respect and reciprocity. To echo the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. In the realm of relationships, this wisdom holds a special significance. It reminds us to listen, truly listen, to the needs and perspectives of others, while also giving voice to our own needs and boundaries. This balance of listening and speaking is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. In this journey, we're not just learning about others, we're also discovering ourselves. Each interaction, each challenge, is a mirror reflecting our values, our resilience, and our capacity for growth. As you listen to this, imagine yourself as a gardener, tending to the garden of your relationships. Some plants will thrive, some may need extra care, and others might not be suited to your garden's environment. The wisdom lies in knowing which to nurture, which to prune, and which to let go. So, as you move forward, carry with you the understanding that the relationships you cultivate should be as enriching and balanced as the principles you hold dear. They should be a source of strength, not just a reflection of it. Remember, in the words of another great Stoic, Marcus Aurelius, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In your relationships, let this wisdom guide you to respond not with bitterness, but with the strength of character and the grace of understanding. As we conclude today's exploration on the 10 attitudes of a person who only uses you and doesn't care about you, I encourage you to reflect on these insights and apply them in your daily interactions. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-awareness and resilience in the face of adversity. By understanding and identifying these attitudes in others, we empower ourselves to make wiser choices and cultivate relationships that are truly meaningful and reciprocal. I urge you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How have you applied these Stoic principles in your life? What changes have you noticed? Your stories and insights not only enrich our community, but also serve as a beacon of wisdom for others on a similar path. Remember, your journey with Stoic in your life is not just about learning, it's about transforming these teachings into actionable steps that enhance your personal growth and happiness. Subscribe to stay connected, and let's continue this journey together, fostering a life of wisdom, virtue, and emotional resilience. Thank you for being a part of this enlightening journey. Until next time, stay stoic and thrive in the art of living.